Hey, beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. I guess you can call it a podcast. You guys, it's the finale. It is finally the finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And it's season 12, episode 21, Not My Sister's Keeper. Um, I'm gonna be cursing a little bit, guys. So buckle up, cause I got some shit to say already. I first want to say, if you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. We would love to have you. And if you are a new subby, welcome, welcome. We are more than happy to have you be a part of the beautiful people family. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be cursing a little bit, you guys, because when I watched it, I was like, like I wish I was making the video at the same time. Like I was that irritated. So let's get going. All right, so we start off with Garcelle. She's giving a Birkin Hermes type party or something. Like she just had Hermes everywhere. I don't know if it was sponsored or what, but it was just kind of, I don't understand why she's giving a Birkin party if she doesn't own a Birkin. And like someone else pointed out, she had a Birkin cake. And I mean, I understand she likes it, but girl, then just buy a Birkin if that's what you want to do. You work hard, go ahead. But she has someone there, a reseller or whatever, and he told her that he sold one on the way over for 45, and she was like 1,000, and me too. I was like, oh, okay, cool, 4,500, that's cool. Nope, 45,000, and she was like, does money come in the bag? Like it's a lot of money, and it is. It's a lot of money. But they're just not cute to me, which I believe I said in another video. I just don't think that they're worth it because they're not fashionable. Like it's just not a cute bag to me. But you know, if they like it, I love it. I just don't understand why she keeps having parties about it and she doesn't own one. I also don't like this ponytail with the widow's peak. I don't like it. I don't agree with it. It's not cool at all. But you know, it's her party, so she could do whatever she want to do. Oh, I should also point out that Garcelle stole Patrick from Kathy, and by stole I mean borrowed. I guess he goes and does different parties or whatever. So I'm not even sure if he's Kathy's full-time butler or whatever you want to call him, but he seems really cool. Like we liked Patrick last time we saw him, right? I don't know why. He just seemed like he was a little down to earth, but he likes the pink bag and he's like that pink one should be mine. And when they told him the price, he's like, "Oh, I'll have to sell my body somewhere for that." I'm like, "Yeah, Patrick." And later on, Patrick gonna be getting his Mac on with who was he macking? Oh, was it Crystal's brother? Somebody. I may be wrong about Crystal's brother, but he was macking on somebody. No, it was Sutton's assistant, I believe. But we'll get there. I'm jumping ahead. But yeah, we like Patrick. And she's putting on white gloves. She has everyone putting on white gloves to handle the bags. I mean, it's cute. It's a cute idea. Birkins and Bubbles, she called it. All right, so over at Kyle's house, she's giving like a benefit dinner the next day, and they're doing all the decorations. It looks really good, very elegant. And that's it for that. She got to go get ready for Garcelle's party. So back at Garcelle, she comes down. Her outfit is cute. The long bat wings and stuff. Not a huge fan of it, but it looked fine. And then what's her name? Cherie comes in, and she just looks like Cherie. Okay. So they're looking at the food and everything, and Garcelle tells her, "Yeah, we have chicken and waffles, and not just because you're here." And she starts laughing, and Cherie is like, "What? What? Was that racist? Like what?" And I was like, I mean, because they're both black, I'll allow it. It was funny. You know, you got a bunch of white girls coming over. I get it. I get it, Garcelle. I'll allow it. We have Rena coming over in her monster boots. Y'all, I'm gonna try real hard not to go crazy on Rena, but I can't stand her. When I tell you, we gonna get there. All right, so all the ladies come in, and Rena has a mini Birkin that I think they said was like 5,000. It was very tiny, and fuck her, it doesn't matter. What's her name? Sutton comes in. Of course, she's wearing her Birkin. Crystal is wearing her Birkin, and Kyle comes in wearing her Birkin. And it was actually cute when Kyle saw Sutton holding, picking up one that was like 24,000. She's like, "Get your hands off of that." And she ran over or whatever. Cute little moment. It was funny. Sutton is wearing a bunch of scarves. It's actually cute. I'm not mad at it. I can't remember who she said the designer was, but of course it's did she say it was vintage something? I should go back so I could tell you guys for sure, but I'm sure somebody is gonna know in the comments. So that's fine. Yeah, cute little party. Again, didn't make sense to me. You got all these people walking in with the bags that you love. They own it. And I just feel like, damn, it's her birthday, y'all. Buy her a Birkin. No, it's not even her birthday. She just giving this party, y'all. Like, it's really just hitting me. It's not her birthday. What is this party for? Ugh. Okay, so yeah. What's his name? Patrick is flirting with Sutton's assistant. They're like, Sutton, where's your drink? Oh, he's too busy flirting. And then the assistant lets us know, no, we can never be no more than friends or whatever. We've already established that. Because Patrick was shooting his shot. He was like, listen, something about some good sex. And then he said, or at least he could be a good friend. He has great hands to give good massages. I'm like, you better go ahead and go after that young man, Patrick. So they, start talking to Garcelle about the bag. They talk her into buying it. What Sutton says, listen, your cake was Birkin, just go ahead and turn it into a real bag. Bippity boppity boo. And I'm like, that's all it is for you? Bippity boppity boo? Like, that's it? So she ends up, they chant, get the bag, get the bag. She ends up buying the bag. Good for her. Woo, yes, ma'am, Garcelle. So Garcelle is sitting there talking to Kyle. They're standing in the kitchen talking, and Kyle is like, Kathy came over yesterday. It's so funny. She always calls her my sister. My sister Kathy came over. Do they have another Kathy? Is there another Kathy in the group? But she's like, okay, good. She says she apologized, and Garcelle is like, for what? I'm like, Garcelle, you already know for what, but okay. She's like, oh yeah, you weren't there, so she ended up having a meltdown. And you guys, the way Kyle explained it, yes, this is something that Kathy does. This is something that they have been through before as sisters. And she said she came over. She had, she had a meltdown. She said some things. She came over. She apologized. It's all good. Rena came over too, and and told her that she needs to get some help or whatever. And Garcelle is looking like, what? And I'm like, yeah, that my thoughts exactly, Garcelle. And then she's like, in her confessional, Garcelle's like, listen, if Kyle wants to sweep it under the rug, rent a butt out. And I'm like, yeah, it's not your problem. It's not your business. It has nothing to do with you. And I'm so glad Garcelle is there to actually speak the truth. Girl. So Garcelle is like, yeah, that's your sister, and she's like, yeah, all roads lead back to me. So, Kyle is basically saying, this is my shit. Let me deal with it. And she's in the confessional saying, well, anytime we've had issues, it's not just me and Kathy. I don't get to see my nieces and nephews. And I'm like, okay, all right with that. Because how old are they now? These are some grown ass people. And if they want to be in your life, they're still going to be in your life. Like, if they not speaking to you because they mama not speaking to you, then they can just fuck right on off. I'm just kidding, y'all. I would never say that to my nieces and nephews, but then again, they're all grown. Well, not all of them, but they're young adults. And if I were to get into it with my siblings, which we do not, we don't do anything like this, they would not have a thing to do with it. So for her to say, oh, she just wants everybody to come to her daughter's wedding and everything, they have family issues that, yeah, it's years and years of stuff being swept under the rug. So just keep doing it. That's fine. If she likes it, I love it. Okay, so Kyle and Garcelle go to join the other ladies in the living room, sitting down, and we get to all of the excuses of why people can't come. Dorit's not there because, it's her son's birthday. Okay, I'll allow that one. Erica couldn't come because something, she don't like you, Garcelle. Y'all don't really like each other. She's not coming. Okay. And then Crystal says, oh my God, yeah, Diana called me. Why the fuck didn't she call Garcelle? Like, it's her party. But it's fine. We're not missing her. But how rude is she? She shouldn't have been invited anyway. She can just beat it, I swear. But, apparently somebody's sick. It's not her this time, it's the kid. I'm just like, listen, she needs to quarantine forever. How about that? Because something is always wrong with her. But again, we're not missing her, so it's fine. And once again, Kathy Hilton can't make a Garcelle function. Y'all, I just want to curse so bad. I mean, it's so ridiculous to me. And then I actually think that Kathy likes Garcelle, but why can't you ever make her functions? However, the very next day you're going to be fine and you'll be in town. You'll be there for Kyle's function. You make all the white girl functions. Sorry guys to put it that way, but it is what it is. But you can never make Garcelle shit. Unbelievable. So Sutton starts off by telling a little cute, little funny story about Bumble and how she was talking to a man, nice enough guy. They were talking for a couple hours, and then suddenly everything, his words turned green, his bubbles turned green, which they said means you got blocked. So she said she felt like he got caught or something. And then Kyle says, or were you clumsy with your words and offended him? And Garcelle was like, damn. And I was too. But I'm just like, Sutton, now you see, this is what she thinks of you. Like, honestly, Kyle don't really fuck with you, Sutton, and you shouldn't really fuck with her because this is what she feels about you for real, for real. Like, Kyle always lets it out how she feels about Sutton, and she always does it like a little joke, but all she does is take constant digs at her. And she doesn't feel like, I guess, she's a nice person, or she just feels like she's super awkward and she could just say whatever to her. I don't like it. But listen, Sutton laughed it off, so okay. So then producer Garcelle has to ramp it up, and she's like, listen, Renna, I heard that you saw Kathy yesterday. How'd that go? And Renna is trying to act really uncomfortable and really awkward about it, and really, oh, it went, I don't know, like, it had to happen, and okay, yeah, it went, it was, I don't know. And then she asked Kyle, well, how'd you feel about it? And Kyle was like, I felt fine. I was happy that she apologized so that we can move on. And she interrupts Kyle speaking, and Renna, asks Garcelle, how much about Aspen do you know? And I'm like, that's because this bitch just want to let it all out. And so they're all like, I don't really know anything. And Garcelle's like, well, all I know is that she texted me at like 12:30. And what's her name? Renna. Interesting, because she texted me at like 12:32. And y'all, when I tell you Patrick was standing there taking it all in, I was like, I would definitely be Patrick. Like, what's the tea? But what's her name? Renna is getting her acting chops going again, and it's terrible acting as usual. It's awful. She's like, oh, she texted me at 12:32, and by that time I had gone ahead and went to bed, locked in the room. And Garcelle is like, why? And she's like, because, the behavior that was going on. And Garcelle's like, so you were that scared that you locked yourself in the room? And she's like, yes, yes. And then Garcelle's looking and she's just like, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, sis, yeah. And I wish they would have showed Cherie. Cherie, we just gonna leave her where she is. So Kyle is in the confessional saying how she wished Renna would just drop it. She's like, she apologized and she's like a dog with a bone. And she's like, I feel like she's more upset about the fact that she had to witness it than what she really said about me. Like, she's not even trying to protect me anymore. It's all about her. And so we go back to them in the living room, and you know, Rena's just like, yeah, she did apologize, but you have to live with it. And she's like, yeah, that's fine. And so basically, she's trying to convince Kyle that she should be madder than she is, I guess. And Kyle is just like, okay. I mean, because she just wants to keep using the word shook. And oh my God, I was so shook. And they go and do a montage and flashbacks of every time that she said she was just so shook. Renna is full of shit, I'm telling you. But finally, Kyle is seen, and I did not feel bad for Kyle at all, none in the least, because as you can see, these girls, nobody has loyalty. There's no loyalty in this whole group. So good for them, good for her. I'm glad she's getting her feelings hurt because she cared too much about these girls. Erica and Renna, she cares way too much, but I'm probably getting ahead of the show. So, all right. So Kyle ends up telling her that she feels uncomfortable, with them still talking about it. And she gets up and walks away. Everybody's looking like, oh my God, where she's going? And I'm like, she always runs away, does she not? And Renna gets up and follows her to the kitchen. And she's just like, Listen, oh, before she goes, she's sitting there and she's like, it's hard for her. Yeah, yeah, it's hard for her. I cannot stand her. So she gets up and she goes to the kitchen to check on Kyle. And I'm like, you are the last person she wanted to come and check on her. And she's like, listen, I just really hope that she gets the help that she needs. Like, I really meant that when I said it yesterday. And Kyle drinks a sip of water, and I'm like, Kyle, why are you just standing there? Like, why you keep letting her get this shit off? Honestly, why do you keep allowing her to say stuff that you know is ridiculous, and you want to combat it in the confessional, but you don't say anything when you're in her face. So she's like, yeah, I just hope that the conversation will make her look at herself and be like, oh, I really do need to get help. I really do need to work that out. Lisa is crazy. She is batshit crazy, y'all. For real, for real. Because she don't feel like anything is wrong with her. And how many times have we seen her flip out and act a complete fool? Like, oh my God. And the fact that she's able to sit here with a straight face and say someone else needs help is beyond me. But it's even worse that Kyle ain't saying shit. Kyle ain't saying nothing. Like, listen, she is the confessional gangster, but in your face, she ain't got nothing to say. So guess what? It's time for Kyle's party. And guess what else? Everybody can make it. Absolutely everyone. Except Kathy. I don't think Kathy went, but yeah, Diana's feeling better. Her kid, it's the very next day, but her kid, I guess, is gonna live, and so she can come out. Erica's there, and so she's in the car with Rena. And you guys, oh God, I was so irritated with them and this smugness and the fact that you could tell they are in cahoots and they just have a plan to try to take Kathy down. It's ridiculous. It's so soap opera ish, for real, for real. Like, we're gonna take her down. So she's in the car, Rena, and she's like, yeah, I've received so many calls from my publicist. And she's like, oh my God, they have so much inside information. It's ridiculous. And Kathy's attorneys are trying to kill it. And when I tell you, they're both smiling. So the whole time she's talking, Erica has this smirky smile on her face, and Rena does too. And she's like talking like a villain for real. And I'm just like, listen, what are you doing? It's common knowledge that you did this. You said this. And I'm just like, oh, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm not. And it really only goes downhill from here. She's going on and on about how she's shook. And I think you could tell how shook I am by it because I have never seen a human being behave like that in my life. And I'm like, bitch, you've done it. What are you talking about? You've done it quite a few times. And she's in the confessional talking about how, Kathy would really love to kill the story, but she acted a complete fool in that club that night. And I'm just so over Rena. Like, y'all, I do not want her back next season. I really don't. It's so many of them that can go. Like, they can really just start over. Garcelle, she's fine. She can come back. And Sutton. And then let's pick new people from there. All new people from there. But yeah, Rena is out of her mind. All right, so back at the party, we see Kyle getting all these diamonds put on her. She got like $4 or $5 million in diamonds on her. Dorit comes and she puts on like a $5 million necklace, and we see this little boy open the door, and what do you know? It's Asher. It's Diana's fiance. Um, yeah, she's there, y'all. She's there. Ugh. Well, now we have to listen to her talk, and yeah, she's there. Yeah, so Diana doesn't want to borrow any jewelry. She's like, I'll just do this while she's like fanning her hands. And she's like, you can figure out the carats from there. She didn't have on a necklace. She just had on like rings. I can't stand her. But what's her name? What's his name? PK and Mauricio, they have such a cute little bromance, and he's like, "Where'd you get this from? Target? This is Alexander McQueen, man." So that was cute, and then we have the other girls on their way, y'all. Oh my God, what the hell does Garcelle have on her lips? Ooh, excuse me, this green lipstick. Why? Why are you doing that? Like, that's never okay. I don't feel like there's ever a time for green lipstick. I don't get it. And Cherie had on all of this green eyeshadow. And I was just like, oh my God, what are they doing? I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But They show up, and I don't think they're to my knowledge, what I can remember, they don't borrow any jewelry either, because I think, listen, black people ain't got time to be responsible for that shit. Like, if something falls off or whatever, no, I'm not owing you nothing, so keep it. I came here and I think Garcelle is going to say that, she's doing the green thing so she doesn't want any jewelry, but I know, sis, why you didn't, because I wouldn't have borrowed none either. So next we see Rena and Erica coming in, and Rena looks a goddamn fool. I'm sorry, that outfit is a mess. It doesn't look cute to me. This whole royal blue, and I love me some royal blue now. Shout out to my baby Amari, but for her to have, I mean, she got on it just doesn't look good. I'm sorry, and her face looks extra alien-ish, like she just recently got some shit done that just does not agree with her face. But they're in there getting jewelry and everything, and she's like, yes, yes, like she is really feeling herself. I feel like maybe she's on something. But we have Kyle and Crystal talking, and Kyle is telling Crystal how, listen, I just feel like they're going on and on too much about this whole thing. It's my sister. If you care about me, just let it go. Was she a bitch? Yeah. Did she act a fool? Yeah. Did she apologize? Absolutely. So now it's being leaked. And she kept saying leaked to the blogs. And then we get to see Kempire. Yay! Shout out to Kempire. Yeah, I just found him a few months ago, but I really do enjoy him. I enjoy his voice. I enjoy his commentary. I really feel like he's funny. He's just well rounded. I like Kempire. So shout out to him for being on the show. But it's all over the blogs now because it's being leaked. And she's like, yeah, and Brenna and Erica are the two that are most mad about it. So, like, kind of, what does that tell you? And then we see them coming in, and Crystal's like, oh, they're here. And Kyle didn't even turn around. And of course, they are obnoxiously loud, especially Renna. Hey! And I'm like, bitch, no one likes you. How about you just go? So now they're sitting down to eat, and Garcelle and Kyle are sitting together. And Kyle asks Garcelle if she spoke with Kathy, and she's like, yeah, today. And she's not happy because people are running with this story that doesn't make her look good, and they're not letting it go. And, Kyle is like, yeah, she apologized to me, so I don't understand what they're doing. But, and she's saying that it's going to have an effect on their relationship. And she's like, I just hate the fact that my friends and my sister, and she's just like, well, your friends don't care. Because if they did care and they were your friends, they would let it go, and they're not letting it go. And in the confessional, not Kyle, Garcelle is like, oh, Kyle, like, you obviously are missing the fact that, this is not about you anymore and your friends have an agenda. And I'm like, yes, please tell her. So the whole time Kyle and Garcelle are talking, Erica's just staring. She's just staring, staring, staring. And then she leans over to Renna and she's like, those two are coming for me. I just know it. And Renna says something stupid. I don't know. Let them come. Something like that. I don't know. But Garcelle is just letting her know, listen, this is your sister. You need to stand up for her. And, and she's like, I just feel like it's a distraction from Erica because look at who we're not talking about right now. And Kyle is like, well, I can't really say anything right now because, and she's like, yeah, that's fine. And I'm just like, yeah, because Erica is like staring a hole into Kyle's head. So after she tells Garcelle she has an attitude, Garcelle laughs and she's like, listen, I ain't got no attitude, but I'm just saying, I just feel like we're talking about this and now we're no longer talking about Erica. And I'm like, yes, you better say that shit. Garcelle is not mincing words. Like, she is saying exactly what she feels, and I love it. Right in your face. Right in your face. And Renna's like, well, go ahead and talk about Erica then. And she's like, I'm just saying, Erica has said a lot of stuff. Well, she said that in her confessional. Erica said a lot of bad things that we're no longer talking about. And then we get how Erica acted in Aspen. Erica acted an ass in Aspen. Yes, she did. And that was a little triggering, no? Like, that was a little crazy. The fact that she said all of this stuff about the victims and are they really victims and I don't give a shit about nobody but myself. But yeah, we're not talking about that anymore. We're talking all about Kathy and the meltdown that none of us saw. None of us saw. And then Renna's like, well, I just don't understand why, Garcelle is so opinionated when she wasn't there. She has nothing to do with it. You have nothing to do with it. She didn't say anything about you. She didn't do anything to you. So why are you acting so affected, Brenna? Yeah, so Garcelle asked Kyle, "Did you want this to be brought up? Did you want this to be talked about?" And then she does her mumble thing where she's scared to talk. I just really don't want anything to talk about it because I just want everybody to come to my daughter's wedding. And I'm like, "Bitch, talk! Like, what are you saying? Speak up for you and your sister. Are you kidding me?" And so, oh, excuse me. So Rena is just like, oh, well, I'm just saying that, she can't just sweep it under the rug. We can't just let this go. And Garcelle is like, well, we can if she wants to. If Kyle says sweep it under the rug, who are you? Like, well, she didn't say all that, but this is me. Who are you? If she wants to sweep it under the rug. So I was so happy when Garcelle said, yeah, we can. If she says sweep it under the rug, sweep it under the rug. And she's like, well, because I would die. I would make myself sick if I just hold on to it. I would get cancer and I would die. Y'all, if y'all could see everybody's faces, I swear to God, they were just like, this bitch. And I'm so surprised nobody said it. Like, how could they sit there with a straight face and not be like, what are you saying? Like, what are you talking about? You sound a fool. I would get cancer and I would die. Like, I just. Oh my God. So in the confessional, all the girls are like, wow. Dorit said, wow. And even Diana was like, did you really say that? And Garcelle was like, are we on Days of Our Lives again? And I'm like, yeah, she got y'all living on Days of Our Lives, if whatever show she was on, because this is a fool. And again, she wants to talk about all the stuff that Kathy said about everybody that could ruin people. And I'm like, none of it is caught on tape. None of it. However, we have Erica. We have tape. We have footage of everything that she said. But you want us to believe you? Rena, you want us to believe you? So Rena starts this speech about how no one knows what happened in that house. Kyle, do you know? And she doesn't say anything. Garcelle, did you know? Erica, no. And then Erica in her confessional, I don't even know what happened. Bullshit. You know everything that happened. Rena was freaking texting you the whole time, and of course y'all have talked since then. She has told you everything. You know why? Because she's told us everything. We know everything that Rena is claiming or alleging to have happened in that house. And we know that you know, Erica, because you're the one that's leaking the story. So what are you talking about? And you're sitting there lying with a straight face. That's why don't nobody believe you. Oh my God. Oh my God. So then we cut to the men, and Crystal's husband is just like, every get together, there's big drama. And I'm like, yeah, for sure. So Erica ends up saying, listen, for a year and a half, I have been pummeled by this group. And Kyle is like, okay, so that's why you now want to turn everything on Kathy. And she's like, yeah, that's exactly why. Your sister had bad behavior in front of everyone in this group. And I'm like, did she really? Because everyone in this group just said they don't know what happened. Everyone in this group just said they didn't see anything. They don't know where it originated. They were over there talking about, oh, I thought it was because they wouldn't play a song, and like nobody knew exactly what happened. So what are you saying, Erica? So what's her name? Kyle is just like, well, just so you know that the more you keep doing this or whatever, you're not hurting her, you're hurting me. And Erica's like, no, your sister's hurting you. And then Rena, yes, that's right. Your sister is hurting you. Like they are like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, I swear to God. And again, from here, it only gets worse. So of course, Kyle has to get up and go to the bathroom again because all she does is run. It's so funny how she's able to stay in the fire whenever she's putting it on somebody else. When she is freaking being a producer and bringing shit to people, she's able to stay there. But as soon as some stuff is about her, she runs. Kyle is a coward. I am so sorry. And the fact that it's taking her this long to speak up for her sister is ridiculous to me. Like you are sitting there like mom's the word while they're shitting on your sister. And that's the problem that Kathy has with her anyway. The fact that you allowed your friend to sit there and, try to order this other tequila and really big it up on TV in my face to get under my skin, and you not even saying nothing. Like you're not even being like, damn girl, come on, what you doing? Like I am so frustrated with this episode, you guys, because I would really love to fight a lot of them. And I know that is not grown up. That is not adult of me to just want to punch people. But I do. This show, And you know what? Let me just say this. I feel like this finale is fine. Okay, it was fine. It was explosive. Can't wait for the reunion. I guess it's what gonna be like 3 episodes, which we really don't need. Like it's the same shit. So now we got to talk about the same shit over and over again. It's really annoying. And although this finale was fine, I really do feel like these shows, these reality shows, be pushing it. Like they be dragging shit out. I feel like they should all end like maybe 3 to 4 episodes before they do. Because by the time we get to the finale, we are done. We are so over talking about the same stuff, which is why maybe they came up with a whole different issue and stuff to have. Because if we were still talking about Erica right now, we would really, really be annoyed. Like, would we not? It's just too much. It's too much Erica. It's too much of the same drama. It's too much. And if they were still riding Sutton's back right now, like they did the entire first half of the season, well, over the first half of the season, we would be over it by now. And so I just feel like they should maybe end 3 to 4 episodes before they do. And the only good part about this is that they brought up some different drama in the end. Like this is totally new, it's new drama. So we'll take it. But yeah, I just feel like all of these shows be dragging it too much. Like they really need to end sooner. So after Kyle gets up, all the ladies are like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to leave. I'm going to leave too. But Kyle just goes into another room on the inside and she's talking to Dorit. And I'm like, way to get out the cold. I'm not mad at it. So she's telling Dorit that, the person who is leaking the story, they started leaking in Aspen and it's been leaking ever since. And she knows who, she heard from a reliable source who it is. And Dorita's like, is it someone in this group? She's like, yeah, it's somebody who wants to take the heat off them. So then the camera, of course, flashes to Erica. And I'm like, how could y'all not figure it out? Erica had this one lone person coming and asking her questions about the whole Kathy thing when she had her little hair thing. Do y'all remember that? She's standing there talking to this lady's phone about, answering questions about Kathy. And I'm like, why are you the only one that's being tracked down by people asking you about Kathy? So we already knew it was Erica. But the other ladies are coming in, and as they're walking in, Rena is kind of dancing or whatever. Like she's just so unbothered. Oh, God. All right, so as they're all in there taking off their jewelry and stuff, Kyle sits down and she tells Faye Resnick, who I am not mad at Faye Resnick. She has been on a few other episodes and a few other seasons, and she kind of brings it a little bit. She brings a little bit of the spiciness. So she's like, I got to tell you what's happening. And she's like, Kathy's trying to kill the stories with attorneys or whatever, but these leaks keep getting out. And then Sutton is like, oh my God, do I have to just do this? And she gets up and she goes in there and she's talking to Erica and Ren. And she's like, did either one of you leak to the press what happened in Aspen? And they're like, no, no. And so she's like, well, Kyle needs to know. So they go in the room where everyone is and she asks again, did either one of you leak to the press? And they're both like, no. And then Erica's like, I don't know how to do that. So as Erica says that, Kyle is just like, yeah, so someone in your camp did. She talks to Erica and she's like, someone on your team leaked it. And she's like, oh, who? And she's like, your publicist. Well, get me what you have. And she's like, I'm sure we can get it to you. Well, I don't, and I'm like, girl, if your publicist is the one telling, that means you told your publicist. So what are you talking about, Erica? So then Rena wants to go on about how, she's been getting calls from her publicist and she's been trying to field all these questions. And Kyle is like, well, it's kind of funny because I haven't gotten any calls. Like, if all these people are calling around to the cast to find out what happened, why are they the only two that's getting calls? Like, it just makes no sense. All right, so then we get the Tweedledee and Tweedledum moment where Kyle is telling Erica how everything was getting out at her hair party. She's like, somebody was getting play by play at your hair party. Somebody was texting and talking about Kathy. And she's like, well, if that was happening, then why was there no publication? And then Lisa's like, yeah, was it ever in publications? I didn't see it. And like they're going back and forth with, we didn't see it. And then Kyle is like, oh my God. And they're all like, yeah, really? Because like they're like, bouncing off each other saying the same exact thing. Like as soon as Erica says something, Rena says the same exact thing right after her. Like she sounds a goddamn fool. So then we get into this whole back and forth with the girls and Garcelle, and she's the only one speaking up for Kathy. Kyle is not speaking up for Kathy, and they're saying how Kathy will take her own self down, and why would we want to go after her? And Faye Resnick is speaking up even over Kyle, and she's like, "No, she won't." And why? Kathy has a lot of people that don't like her, and Faye Resnick is like, "No, she don't. She's an amazing girl." And I'm like, "Yeah, like somebody take up for her, even though it's fuck Kathy. Honestly, really, she did that shit. Whatever they say she did that shit." But I mean, these two girls has fucked them even more. So we'll stay on Kathy's side for now. But yeah, it's just a ridiculous thing, and they're going back and forth, and it's all too much. I'm glad it's almost over. So Kyle is like, I just think it's to take some of the focus off of Kathy, and I mean off of Erica. And Erica's like, there's no taking focus off of Erica. I'm sorry, but Kathy is not known enough to take the focus off of Erica. And Kyle starts smiling, and in the confessional, she's like, girl, are we gonna play who's more famous than whom? Because I feel like the last name Hilton is going to trump Girardi. And I'm like, yeah, Erica, you sound a goddamn fool. Like she sound a fool. All right, so wrapping it up, y'all. As they're going back and forth, Dorit leans over to Kyle and says, "You should have never brought this up." Girl. And then Kyle is irritated. So she got up, and Garcelle's like, "What's going on with you two?" And she's like, "Let me give this jewelry back." So she goes into the little room that's by the front door. And at this time, Erica and Renna are leaving out the front door. And Renna's just laughing about the whole thing. Well, if it's not out, it will be now. And then little did they know, Kyle is right there and she can hear. And she's like, well, can we not let it? How about that? And they end up doing just a little bit of back and forth or whatever about how, everybody's trying to get the story. And then Kyle says, well, it's just trying to be pushed and pushed. Like somebody's trying to push it out there. And that's what I'm saying. And she walks away. And then Erica stands there for a second. And then she says, just get me what you have. And she walks out. And I'm like, girl, they done turned on you. They are not your friends. Like, look at how she talking to you. She don't give a shit. But that's what Kyle gets. This is exactly what she gets. I swear to God. For Dorit to be like, you shouldn't have brought this up. Like, it's her fault. Like, why would she be scared of them? And it's so funny and ironic that Erica said in the confessional that Kyle is just scared of Kathy. She's scared of what she would do. I'm like, no, she's scared of you. Like, she's scared of you and Renna. Y'all, it's so annoying. So we have a whole bunch of updates about what's going on with them, and I'm not gonna watch that again, you guys. So I will see you guys for the reunion, and hopefully it's going to be good. Apparently nobody is liking, they're just not liking each other, these girls. And all I remember is them saying it was so bad that nobody hugged at the end or whatever. Fine. And that's what they all get. So if you are still here, you are the real MVP. Oh my God, this is super long. Sorry guys, but it was a lot of shit to say. If you are still here, again, you are the real MVP. If you have not already, please consider subscribing, like, comment, and I will see you guys in the next video. Smooches.